Hello class. For day 2, we will be looking at the rising action and the climax of a story. The rising action is basically, if you refer back to the chart that I showed you in the first lesson, we start out with the exposition. It goes like this, and the rising action is when it starts to rise and go up. And the rising action is a series of related incidents that builds toward the point of greatest interest. The rise and action of a story is a series of events that begin immediately after the exposition, which is the introduction. And the exposition is what we talked about in the last video, where the exposition is where you basically establish the story. So the rise in action is a series of events that begin immediately after the exposition of the story and builds up to the climax. Now, to show you what the rise in action looks like, I went and looked at The Lion King, which I know we all love that movie. So if you take a look at this clip here.
You see them. They think I'm king.
Well, we don't. Simba's the rightful king.
The choice is yours, Scar. Either step down or fight.
Oh, must this all end in violence? I'd hate to be responsible for the death of a family member. Wouldn't you agree, Simba?
That's not gonna work, Scar. I've put it
As you can
behind
see,
me.
this
But
is
what
the
about
rise
your
in
faithful
action.
subjects? Have they put it behind them?
Simba, what is he talking about?
Ah, so you haven't told them your little secret. Well, Simba, now's your chance to tell them. Tell them who is responsible for Mufasa's death.
I am.
It's not true. Tell me it's not true.
It's true.
You see, he admits it. Murder! No, it was an accident. If it weren't for you, Mufasa would still be alive. It's your fault he's dead. Do you deny it?
No.
Then you're guilty.
No, I'm not a murderer.
No, Simba, you're in trouble again.
Now, as you can see from that short clip from The Lion King, that is the rise in action. This is the rise in action because the mystery of the whole plot of The Lion King is Simba was in exile. Well, he ran away from home because he thought he was the cause of his father's death. And he didn't want to tell his family that he was the reason. So at this part of the rising action, you see that Simba finally admits to being the cause of his father's death, because that was the mystery. Now we're going to take a look at the climax of the story. The climax is described as the highest or most intense point in the development or resolution of something. And in a dramatic or literary work, it is a decisive moment that is of maximum intensity or is a major turning point in a plot. So right now, I'm going to continue the clip and you will see how the climax takes shape in the movie.
But this time, Daddy isn't here to save you. And now everyone knows why. Now, this looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? Oh, yes, I remember. This is just the way your father looked before he died. And here's my little secret. I killed Mufasa. Murderer! No, Simba, please, tell them the truth. Truth? But truth is in the eye of the beholder. All right. All right. I did it so they can hear you. I killed Mufasa.
as seen in this clip, this is where Scar finally admits that he is the antagonist of the story and that he is the killer of Mufasa. That is characterized by the climax because it's the final sudden realization of what was going on and how you find out that Scar is the bad person in the story. And it's also characterized as a climax because the characters start to fight. The fighting part is usually the climax because both views are clashing, and as they are clashing, it shows that that is the climax of the story. Thank you. Now that you've watched the video, I would like you to go onto the blog post, the classroom blog, and answer the question: what is your favorite climax of a book that you've read before? You will reply to the blog strand of this video to let me know that you have watched this segment of the lesson and that you understood. See you tomorrow.